Good evening. I'm Keith Schildroth, the councilman from Ward 5. On this week's edition of Council Action, we're going to talk about our council meeting that occurred on May 26th. The meeting started off with a great proclamation for the Marshall family on their 60-year anniversary for Ruiz Restaurant. John Marshall was here, and his family with Rachel, Alexis, and Rudy all presently work at the store. And it was founded by Jose and Hortensia Ruiz 60 years ago. And it's a great family business in Florissant and a landmark for our community. And I congratulate them on a great business and staying with and in the city of Florissant. We had one public hearing last night. Unfortunately, the petitioner withdrew her application. Brianna Furr, she was going to open a spa on Ruth St. Francis Street, but she withdrew her petition. I don't know if she's going to be coming back at a later date in a different spot in town, but that was withdrawn, so no public hearings. And we did have a couple of second readings, an ordinance permitting a sign shop on Howdershell Road passed. It's in Mr. Egan's district. And the ordinance approving the Community Development Block Grant for fiscal year 26 through 30. And the mayor's going to be submitting that to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We didn't have any board appointments or requests. We did have several first readings. One was for the special use permit for Ms. Furr, but we removed that from the agenda since the public hearing was canceled. We did have another first reading, and it was amended by Mr. Caputo over in his ward at 8 Patterson Plaza on a special use permit for Mr. John Bonds, the Happy Cups business for a quick service restaurant. Mr. Caputo made several amendments to the ordinance, and that ordinance will be back on paper at our next meeting in June, and there's going to be several changes to it, and Mr. Caputo talked about those on the floor, and the city attorney and city staff are going to incorporate those into the new ordinance. We did have an ordinance authorizing a contract with Stonehard for the Egan pool and deck and the locker room flooring, and it received 3 readings, and there were 8 different first readings tonight that all received 3 readings. And this was the first time that something like this happened, and it was a direct product of our charter changes that we did last election cycle on that the voters approved, that we would modernize our purchasing and procurement policies within the city on how we buy goods and services. It would come before the council. So we wanted to do the 3 readings on that so we could get these projects going. The next one we did was a contract with an auditing firm, Sicklich CPA, to do an audit for the fiscal year that ended in 2024. That got 3 readings. The next one was an ordinance with BMC Enterprises doing business as Missouri Petroleum Products for street microsurfacing, slurry seal, if you will. It's a stopgap measure that we do on our streets, some of our streets, that can buy us a little more time before we can do concrete asphalt replacement on streets. The next one was an ordinance purchasing a pothole mix trailer from CMW Equipment to fix our potholes in the city. Next was an ordinance amending fiscal year 2026 for different funds, the general fund, the capital improvement fund, the park improvement fund, and the street improvement fund budgets, because we had some excess money in our account, and we've used those different fundings to do street work, to do work at the police department, and to do work at the civic centers, both of them, and different other infrastructure projects that we've been putting off for a long time. And we had this money available, and we still do have quite a bit in our reserve, so it's nothing to fret there. But this was a good use of that money, and we talked about this about a month ago, appropriating the money to these different accounts. Our next first reading that got three readings was an ordinance for the mayor to accept a proposal from Horner and Schiffland for civil engineering services to execute a contract so we could get some civil engineering work done around the city that needed to be done with various projects. This next ordinance 10224, the police department is in dire need of installation of a new HVAC system, and we had Dakin TMI to do that. They won the bid on that, a proposal. So that's something the chief talked about with us at budget time, that the HVAC system needed a major upgrade at the police department. And our last three readings for the first bill was an ordinance for the mayor to enter into a letter of credit agreement with Elite Love Development to guarantee installation of subdivision improvements at River Bluffs on the first plat. We did a lot of these three readings tonight, 8 of them, like I said, and I don't think that'll ever happen again. Hopefully it won't. You might get 2 or 3 a meeting because of the charter change. I also wanted to talk about, it's the grass cutting season, and please take a conscious effort not to blow your grass or your clippings into the street. There is an ordinance violation against that, and those clippings and the grass, they eventually end up in the sewer, and then the council will get calls, or the mayor, about the sewer backing up down the street, and then people wonder why. Well, it's because, unfortunately, folks blow their yard waste into the street, and please don't do that, and please think about that, either mulch it or bag it. I'd like to offer my condolences to the family of Norm McCourt on his recent passing. Norm was a councilman in the city of Blackjack for 15 years, and he was then mayor of Blackjack for 25 years. He was a great public servant. He also served as president and the chairman of the Missouri Municipal League and the Municipal League of St. Louis. I had the privilege of working with Norm at St. Louis County in the county council office. He was the secretary. He did that for 13 years. And I worked on several projects with Norm in our ordinance vault. We have several vaults in our office, and Norm and I were always trying to figure out a way to make the project and the projects go easier, and getting our documents out to the record center in Overland. And he was quite a fun guy to work with. And I like to tell the story about when the city of Florissant purchased the golf course. We had to do so with some help of the city of Blackjack, because a portion of the golf course is in the city of Blackjack. And it could be the most important part. The boundary line goes right down the middle of the clubhouse, and the actual bar in the clubhouse is in the city of Blackjack. So when the liquor license expires, we need the help of the city of Blackjack to get that liquor license renewed. And I remember the first time, one of the first times that Mayor Lowry took that on, Tim Lowry's dad, Bob Lowry Sr., and it was quite an excursion. It got done at the end of the day, but it was fun. And I'll always remember Norm's funny attitude about that and how we got it done. That's about all that we had for the meeting. It was a short agenda. My name is Keith Schildroth. I'm the Ward 5 councilman. If you ever need anything in Ward 5, the residents get a hold of me. You can email me at ward5@florissantmissourimo.com, or you can call my home at 314-839-2927. Have a great week.